The woman had a serious binge eating disorder. Every time it hit her, she'd rent a hotel room by herself. Then, she'd lay out a huge pile of snacks she'd bought ahead of time right on the bed. Next came the most important step. She'd strip off every piece of clothing she had on. Only then could she fully focus on what came next. She grabbed a big burger and downed it in 2 bites. Then a second. Then a third. Soon, hundreds of dollars worth of junk food was gone. Only then did she feel somewhat satisfied. But without even realizing it, she'd blown through all the family's money. She checked the bank balance. The family's entire savings were down to just 57 bucks. Right then, Sheila woke up. She knew she had to fix this problem. She was wandering through a mall when she spotted a weird shop with a pink doorway. Inside, the place was packed with bright, beautiful young women. They were all moving to the beat of the music, swaying non-stop. Their youthful energy pulled her right in. Without even noticing, Sheila joined them. But as she danced, she suddenly passed out cold. When she came to, she was in a strange room. A woman was sitting inside. It was the dance teacher from the day before. The girl said her name was Benny. She said she'd carried Sheila in after she collapsed yesterday. Then a woman's yelling suddenly exploded from the next room. Benny said that was her boyfriend Tyler filming an action movie. Then she walked over to Sheila and asked who the hell sent her there. Turns out Benny thought Sheila was a spy from some dance studio trying to steal their moves because she'd noticed Sheila following her since the afternoon. Sheila said nobody sent her. She just stumbled in by accident. But Benny didn't buy her explanation. Right then, the filming next door stopped. Sheila got curious and asked if the two of them actually lived here. Benny got a little flustered, but her boyfriend Tyler was straight up about it. He'd rented the room, a basement under the mall. Mall rules said nobody was allowed to live there. They were just trying to save money, so they'd been crashing there secretly. Hearing this, a light bulb went off in Sheila's head. Her husband had just lost his job, and the family's savings were almost gone. On top of that, her husband was about to run for state assembly, which would cost a fortune. So Sheila decided to go all in. She told Benny she wanted $1,000 or she'd report them to the mall for living there illegally and filming adult movies. The two of them were completely frozen. Benny had no choice but to order her boyfriend to pay up. Just like that, Sheila walked away with $1,000 easy dollars from Benny. The only catch, Sheila wasn't allowed to crash their classes anymore. But since Sheila hadn't come home all night, her husband Danny suspected she'd been out messing around, so he decided to shadow her for a full day, see what his wife actually did while he was at work. Sheila panicked when she heard that if her deadbeat husband found out she did nothing but eat all day, all hell would break loose. But if she said no, that would only make him more suspicious. She had no choice. She agreed. The next day, like always, Sheila dropped their daughter off at school, but this time, her deadbeat husband was right there next to her. Next, she had to deposit that $1,000 she'd shaken down into the bank, so her husband wouldn't find out she'd flushed their savings. But at the bank, the teller told her any deposit over $1,000 needed to be logged. Sheila heard that and immediately said, never mind. Outside, her husband was openly flirting with 2 good-looking women. He didn't even dial it back when he saw his wife walking over, but her husband tailing her like this wasn't going to work. So Sheila came up with a plan. She'd go back to the dance classes. That way, her husband would stop being suspicious. The only problem, how the hell was she going to convince Benny to let her back in?